Okay, so this game's starting to take a little bit of an interesting turn here. Like I said, it's just going to get interesting here. We're going to see what happens. I didn't even think about one option. I have to check that out here in a minute. But in any case, what I do know is, well, first let's go through Germany. So Germany bought 9 infantry, 4 artillery. So they're stacking up. Looks like they put 4 down here and 9 guys over there, I'm assuming. He blitzed here is what that is. Walked into Novo, attacked Egypt. We got 2 hit back, so that's nice. So we should be able to hit these guys, although it'll be a combination of Japan loading and then coming in, and it won't be so much. So we're going to be bringing reinforcements. Hit Baltic. 2 infantry, 3 fighters, his 2 infantry lived. 2 infantry, 4 fighters hit Belarusia, his 2 infantry lived. So no hitbacks on those, unfortunately. And then, as you can see, he's stacked West Russia up here. I haven't checked to see if like a 1-2 of U.S., since we got 13 infantry in there and 6 fighters and a tank. About 1 U.S., 2 Russia. We got 47, 55, 56, 59, 61 Russians that could hit here. They've got 39, 40, 55, 57. I don't know. I may pull the calculator out real quick and just see what a 1-2 looks like. He could reinforce that 2, 1, 2, 3. He can't make it. This fighter could, and this bomber. So he could get a fighter bomber in there from Japan. So we'll run that calculator here in a second, but I doubt that's possible, but who knows? Assuming that that's not, what is possible is we can stack Karelia, we can stack Moscow, we can wipe these guys. I didn't hit it last time because we were too thin, but now that we've gotten reinforcements in and we've got more coming in, we're going to be able to, we can strike that. We can send 5, 6, 7 Russian ground plus a Russian fighter to hit that, while we can still have a Russian infantry and a fighter hit over here too. So we'll be able to take that. We probably will be able to take both. Well, we'll blitz and take this, and we'll probably be able to take this as well. So we should be able to get some income back into Russia. We'll have Karelia stacked, Moscow stacked. I don't know how long they'll be able to stay sitting in there. Presumably, they'll have to come back here, but if we wipe these guys, maybe it'll be tough. I don't know. Probably not. With all these Japan air, he could probably do Germany in and then Japan in, certainly. So he may have to come back here, but he's got to leave some back to protect his fighters from the UK shot that we have with all our fighters and bombers and infantry, artilleries, and tanks. So hopefully we get his Japan air stuck at some point here. But let's run that calculator real quick. I'm going to pause video. Yeah, as I expected, not really a shot there. So we'll continue with what I was planning on, which is buying 4 infantry. We're going to be a little short, but it's going to be okay because we're going to buy a transport. So we're going to have 3 transports, but we will have an infantry artillery sitting in here. So the 3 transports are still threatening Moscow. So we'll work that out. I didn't even think about Moscow. Do we have anything? Yeah, probably not. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. All this air can come back, and 1, 2, 3. They don't have anybody land on. They don't have anybody land on because they can't quite get there. But we do have 7 planes and 4, followed by 8 and 6, 14, 11, 14, 25. But then he has all this air that could fly in there. So yeah, no, that's not going to be an option either. All right, so I'm doing that way. I'm building a fighter rather than building more ground here. I know we're going to be losing income pretty soon here. And I want to get the air on board for being able to funnel into this, as well as to land on the fleets eventually as well. Because because I need that airplane to land here with my carriers to protect against a 2-bomber strike. So that's what we're going to go with. I debated on the 3rd transport because of losing income, but I'm hoping we're going to be contesting this, and so starting next turn, we just need 18 income a turn to fill the boats, and 12 is guaranteed through here. We got 13, 14, 15 through here right now, so we just need to contest this so that we're keeping a few of these. So I think we can do it for a while. And we're going to be starting to do just a regular U.S. shuck down here. He's going to be sending, 3 a turn in essence from here. Maybe, it's going to be 4 for a little bit. So we're going to send 4 a turn from here and be matching them somewhere in there. All right, attacks. We're going to blitz on through for 1. And we are not going to take, you know what? U.S. doesn't have anybody coming from that way, so let's get everybody involved. So we'll use the U.K. guy, because I think we might bomb with some bombers. We might start doing that fun stuff. That's 5 fighters. Yeah, let's just crush these guys right now. Could do a fighter bomber strike over here because we got an extra one. So I need 11 fighters end here. We're going to have 8, 12, 13 that could be going there. We're going to take 2. The 2 Russians are going to be coming out, so we need 13 in there. That'll pick them down to 11. So we'll be okay there then. Anything else we're going to strike? No, but we're going to sneak this sub around to 30, I think. So that this transport, he's got to bring him back to match that transport. And we got a couple subs hanging around, so. That looks like it's it. That's kind of funny. So we're going to do the same thing with, I thought this artillery is actually in Finland, and I didn't want to waste my tank in doing it. So we're going to do the same thing with US, hitting here, and if they don't clear it, then Russia can take the money. But if we can trade 1 infantry for 2, that's always a bonus. There we go. Nice. And that'll let me use 2 Russian fighters down on him. Bombers can all come in there. We'll send those guys there. Send them there. So we're going to try and stack C-Zone 10, 23, 7, and 3. 2 carriers and a fighter is actually favorable against 2 bombers. If he attacks it for that 1 transport, then I can always reinforce with US and change my plans, and then it wasn't really worth it. So they should be okay. And then we're going to try and get in here. We're going to have this destroyer. We're going to bring this cruiser. He'll have a destroyer and a carrier he can bring back, and 1 destroyer and a battleship to come down here to protect versus them. So that's our shuffle planning. Keeping these 2 targeting there if he goes there. Move them back up. Oh, this guy we're going to bring on over to 30. Everything else is sitting and chilling. One of the things that we are going to start presuming, if he brings these guys into the med, we got to start looking at how we can get these guys coming down. So I move these bombers here so that they can come on around. We're going to want to get some air, but also just to try to help defend in here, but also to make his C-zone where he has to protect his C-zone a little bit. I mean, he's got plenty there right now, but as we start, you know, we got 4 that can hit there now unless he uses transports on both of these. But of course, US couldn't take that. So we'll see. Lots of things to work on and start planning the fight in Africa. But I think we're going to be able to push him off of here before too long. And he just doesn't have much coming this way. So I think Africa is not going to become too big of a deal by the time we start pushing him in. So there we go. This is midterm war report, so Japan. So we should build on this. Well, not too much. 44, 42. His income is getting up there. That's yeek. Africa is going to become relevant. This is the big thing. He got big there, and so it's going to take us a while to get there. And it's funny that Russia is bigger than UK. Eek. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting game. Okay, so let's take a look. My turn up, but Japan bought a destroyer, so that's a win. You know, I've got 2 subs in the area, and he had to build a destroyer, so that's a win. I transport 9 infantry, so he's now got 4, 5 transports on the board. It looks like he's starting to plan, you know, grabbing 1 here and 7, and so he's playing an 8-unit shuck, starting to get going over here. So looks like he's planning to start growing, and then of course he's got 7, you know, on the ground here, so he's going to be making 15 ground a turn, which is going to be problematic if we have not gotten Germany out of West Russia and back this way by the time those units start piling in to the front of Moscow. So we're going to cut off Germany's reinforcements. We're going to actually, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and try and take this. I'm going to do a 70% shot. If I don't take it, if I leave 1 infantry there, it's not horrible, because then Japan's not getting any of that income too. I'd rather take it right now because Japan's not going to stack it, because US and Russia always go before Germany could get in there. So I want to take it, but I'm not looking to kill myself on it, so to speak. So, in any case, he did we do get acknowledged. He's got battleship transport there. Only 1 unit, so I'm just going to pivot my UK troops down here. Put my infantry tank down here. I am going to build a bomber so that I can put my sub and bomber in range of these so that it discourages the battleship transport from trying to take Hawaii or Alaska and go back to his shuck. And then the bomber can fly over and be helpful with what's going to be doing with Alaska down, or excuse me, Africa down here. So otherwise, 8 infantry, 2 artillery for doing our shucking. And I think that's it, yeah. I think that might be the only attack that U.S. is going to do, which is okay because we want to be building U.S. unit counts up anyways. Nice. I take it he missed. Yay. That's good. I almost thought about, and I might look at it next turn, of stacking Baltic, but he does have a lot of units that can come back, plus a build, plus these guys come down. And I don't want to get myself squished, but I'm going to think about it next turn, actually. The possibility of doing it, but it also would mean getting the fleets messed up in here, and the turn orders of these guys, and these guys, and these guys, and these guys. So I don't know that I'm going to go there, but it's something to be said about thinking about it. I think these guys, he's got a little bit, I mean, these guys can protect the southern part with the 2 and 2 for right now. So we're going to bring him on in here to go ahead and meet these guys trying to creep in here. Carrier battleship's fine for blocking the 2 guys. I think I want to put a 4th guy here as we bring our transports back this way now. It does mean I'm committing to moving my UK fleet up to here to protect versus the Japan bombers, but that's fine. You know what? We're going to trade this. Let's send the carrier down there instead of have 2 cruisers destroyer. Is there a better or worse scenario here? I think that's good. Yeah, no, we're going to go back to how I had it. I want the destroyer to go down here. We're going to leave the carrier up here in case we decide to make a move into 5 somehow. Which, again, I don't really think is an option. But maybe we try. I don't know. Got those guys there. So we got 8 coming back for those 8 going there. Next turn, we're just going to keep a shuck here. So these 2 transports, their job's going to be Africa reinforcements compared to his just having 3 units coming this way at a time. So hopefully we can keep Africa. And then these 4 shucking 8 units a turn up here plus the 2 build. And of course UK building. Oh. Don't want to forget him. You know what? I do want to make a note here. Can I do a map note? How do I make a note? I never do map notes, but I want a reminder. How do you do a map note? I don't even know. Is this it? Ah, here we go. In. Okay. In. There we go. Hopefully I get that reminder on UK's turn so I don't forget that. Don't want to give up West USA. So he did bomb Moscow, so we can start to expect that, I guess, with all these bombers he's got. So... I think that's what I want to do. Let's see, 3 infantry, 2 artillery, and a fighter feels good. There's an infantry and 4 artillery. Yeah, I think we're going to go that route. Let's get 3 hits first round. That would make me feel good. Finish him. Finish him. Come on. Okay. So the big thing is this cuts his reinforcements coming in here, and these guys, even if they come in here, then UK can hit, and then US splits behind and with a tank and air and hit them. So I'm gonna give no freedom, no freebies anymore. Not while we're trying to thin out these guys, and he's only got 1s coming. He's got lots of air, so I'm not going to put 2s in there because they would get wiped out. So we're going to do 1 for 1s while we got higher unit counts for the time being. Let me just double check Moscow real quick, make sure I didn't make any goofs here. What we built 4 infantry, so we got 34 infantry. AA, 7 artillery. We got 4 tanks, 3 fighters, 3 bombers, 22. Yeah, he's got all that fun stuff. All right, we're good. that's right. I was going to use an infantry from there. Oh, well, whatever. Because these Russian infantry are pretty much cut off as long as Germany's sitting here. So I meant to do one there and keep one more here. Small deal. Hopefully I don't pay for it. And there we go. Oh, here we go. I don't know if I've looked at the war report recently, so we got a +8 on the attack power. He's up to 90, but Germany's shrinking now. Hopefully. So, very tight, very close. Now that we've been able to pivot back to 10, and so now we've got 3 transports followed by 10 transports, so hopefully we can maybe get them eventually pulling off of one of these guys and pull them back out of here and start crunching them back together. Shrink Germany up. We'll get these 2 guys killed eventually, and then it's just battling Japan. Okay, so Germany's turn. They bought themselves a fighter, filled out their 13 spots, and they left France and started pushing to the east, looking to get these guys over here. They thinned out as they used these guys to trade. So that's good. We're going to continue to trade all 4 of these territories, hopefully, plus a couple over here, and start making things a little more costly on the trading for Germany, start eating into their units. Of course, their goal is to get them all the way to West Russia to keep that stack going, or to reshift back down to Caucasus again, which is fine. I thought about I could stack France this turn. I do have enough that I could stack France and keep my Karelia stack, as well, of course, my Moscow stack. The cost of it, though, is obviously next turn he'll build 13, and he could bring a few of these back and dead zone it, so we could stack into the 3 and make, kind of some mini stacks. It would make these guys have to come back instead of going to the front line to hopefully try to get him out of West Russia sooner. But there's opportunity cost because we have to pull these guys, so then he's just going to go through here and he's going to get this longer. I won't be able to contest real well here, as I'd have to start, this would be it. I won't have any reinforcements coming to Africa to counter the Japan coming in here. So essentially we give up Africa for a while, and he'd end up pushing us and getting efficient trades, although it would get him out of West Russia. Since we've got Karelia broken, at some point we're going to be able to move over to Arch in Moscow and then dump in, and then, reopen the gate back over here eventually, or he moves up, then we come down this way. So there's a lot of this game still to be played out, is what it boils down to. So the most important thing is getting as many boots as we can on the ground. So we had 25 IPC. We're just going to buy 8 infantry. Yes, true, I only need 6, and I probably don't even need that many because I'm only going to use 3 of these, so I really only need 5 built, which I guess I could build 5 and a fighter, but I think I'm going to save up for a bomber because pretty soon we're going to start bombing these guys. And to move forward for the Allies stack, for the most part, having the fighters for our carriers and then shifting enough into Moscow as we need is all we need fighters for. But the fighters, most of the time UK is going to be creating the territory, and then US and then Russia coming in with their fighters to move the line forward. The UK fighters really can't be used for stacking a whole lot until you've gotten into a spot. So I'm not worried about using the UK fighters for stacking unless we try to turn the tide over against the Japan guys, and try to get a Kaza stack. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that with them sitting in West Russia, but maybe. We'll see. The one positive thing here, though, is he did give me a tank and airstrike to kill a fighter, so I think I'm probably going to go ahead and take that shot. And we're going to hit this guy with the rest of the planes. Actually, I think I still might split between these two spots. We'll have 6 fighters. It's probably best just to hit one efficiently and then let the U.S. hit the other one, and then hitting this guy down here. Anyways, here we go. I think I kind of like this. Wait, what? Oh, helps if we put the ground in there, not just the air. Just need our 2 hits. Oh, bullseye. Oh, wow. Okay, I did not expect to actually take the territory. I can't complain about that. Oh. I paid the price there, though. The other thing, too, I didn't pay attention to which fighter they selected. I hope they chose the one with the least movement, because I need the other one to have the movement still in them. Okay, good thing. Whoa, not that far, carrier. Let's, here, please. Ooh, remember my map note. Those are dead zoned. Alright. I'm going to move them here, but I am going to do a double check on Corellia. So I'm going to turn the recording off here. What I might change is where these fighters go. What I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at a couple quick calculators on what Russia needs to hold Moscow but still have freedom to hit back. You know, this guy's going to be there, and, you know, will we have the possibility of starting a Kazakhstan in a turn, but having the UK fighters here puts pressure on Moscow. And Moscow, excuse me, on Berlin. In Moscow, they don't put any pressure there. And here, he has to account for the fact that I've got 3 bombers, 6 fighters, plus my 3 boats of UK, plus I'll have 4 boats of US and their 6 fighters threatening Berlin. So he's got to monitor all of that. So I'm going to take a look at that. Mainly the Moscow. If I can put the fighters in Karelia instead, then I might just do that. All right. We had a 9 infantry, 4 artillery by. Like I said, Japan at this point is starting to mass troops, and they're going to be pressing. We're going to take a little bit of risky bit of battle here. I want to try to slow Japan down just a little bit. I know he pumped this way. So part of me kind of wants to not to, but at the same time, you know what, maybe I'll save it. I think I'll save it. What I was thinking about doing is airstriking with US here and blitzing the Russian tanks and fighters to hit these guys. But the last time he moved the 3 that were here up into here, where we can hit them without risking the, you know, without using the tanks or the air. And the tanks are good defender units still at this point, so I think we'll leave them here. I think we're going to bring our tanks into here, and we'll bring a couple fighters so that we can do another distance strike with them, with UK clearing if we want, or next time we can do US clear for Russian tanks to strike some of the other weaker points. So he's pushing Japan, he's pushing them. So we're still going to play a little bit of aggressive, but nonetheless, we're going to build 12 infantry, artillery, tank. That was just, we had 4 left over after I built all the units, so I needed 14 ground, 2 for here, 4 for them coming back, and then 8 for these guys going here to come back to. So that was pretty much a straight need. Buy. We did the leftovers, we bought that so that we can blitz a tank to here and around. So I kind of like these US tanks for right now, for being able to jump to Karelia and then from Karelia to Moscow, at least until we decide to make the move to shift to Arch and open Karelia up temporarily. I'm really hoping by bringing some extra guys down into here that maybe in an upcoming round, you know, maybe we'll be able to try to stack Kaza. Actually, maybe I'll look at that real quick. It's going to take a lot, though, because he's got a lot of air there. I mean, I got a fair chunk of air that can come down, but yeah, I'm not sure that we'll be able to do it. I'm going to check it real quick, though. So I know that was just briefly for you guys, but I was really looking things, calculating things out and crunching and whatever we can, and I think we can pull the Kaza stack now. We need to do it now before these 8 infantry get up there, because then it's going to be much harder to get them established and then pump them in. So we're going to try and do a 3-stack system. It's going to be very, very thin. I mean, this game is very tight, so it's going to be very, very thin, but we're going to go for it. It means we can't strike here because we need that tank to come back here for defense, though. I will say that. I can't really afford losing a fighter, so I'm going to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, mix thing back over there. I think we're going to let Russia take this guy. Yeah, We're going to let Russia take that guy, just because with the bombing. He did lose one bomber, by the way, but he did hit some more bombing runs, and that's what made this a little bit trickier. So we're going to use that little extra income for Russia. Let's have some clean airstrikes. Nice. But yeah, so that Ukraine artillery lives, but it's not really that big a deal. It's one unit he gets to reinforce, so there we go. Good hit. So this guy starts to threaten Berlin, threaten across here, as well as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can hit anything along this front if they land. So we'll have 1, 2 fighters and a bomber to hit his units. Presumably he'll do 2 and then bring the other 2 over, which would make sense, but that buys us time because these guys are going to be grabbing some guys and coming on down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these guys here with the bomber and the 2 fighters will dead zone C-Zone 15 from this fleet. In case he had any ideas of going in and reinforcing that way and then trying to threaten. I doubt. I think he's just going to sit here and pump units into Africa, but
If you keep making that face, it's gonna stay like that.
Funny. I'm trying to get my own car insurance.
Well, that's easy. USAA.
I thought that was for the military.
And their families. Grandpa served, and he joined USAA.
All right.
Membership with your mom, so she'll give it to you.
Really?
And they'll take good care of you.
USAA. Members who switch save an average of $840 annually on auto insurance. Burger King, you write the rules about it.
New rule number 82. Everyone gets what they want. Now we choose the deal. So I get exactly what I want and there's something for everyone.
one of these will end up going up here into Karelia.
I just wish you would come back.
Dad, you're being ridiculous. It's not Christmas without King's Hawaiian. You don't drink creation. Somebody say King's Hawaiian?
King's Hawaiian, there's nothing like it.
Hey, let's check out this bar.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Let's see if that matches what I thought I was putting in there.
I've got the score. Someone's going to the finale. Let's welcome back Team Glenn, Team Marcel, Team Michael, Team Ryan. One team is in the finale.
That would give me 34, 3 tanks,
39 out of 50.
6 fighters, 3 bombers.
40 out of 50 in suite for a total of 79.
Technically, that gives them a 50-50 on Moscow at -24. As long as we kill all the Japan units, we don't have to worry about the second punch of Japan going in there. I am going to take, so I don't forget, I'm actually going to take one of those guys out and use this guy instead. We do gotta win that.
I'm glad to see that there's still a smile on your faces. You have so much to be proud
Did I
of.
take? Did that? Okay.
You're bigger, better, and stronger than you were before.
Mike and Brian have been people I've watched my entire career. So this competition
Big whiff. Thank you. That was important. That was very important. We also really need Kaza with no hit back. We're thinking 5. I'm thinking of 5. Thinking number 5. 5 is what they're going to roll on defense. 5. Look at that. Called shot. Feeling like Babe Ruth.
You are now in the finals.
All right. I really need this so that Japan doesn't have any, Hail Mary 1-2s here. We just need to hit. I don't even care if he gets a hit back, but we need to hit him.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to meet the two teams in our holiday finale?
Death. It's not the worst thing. I can always airstrike him with UK if he hits this with Germany, but it would have been a lot more comfortable to have hit it.
One of these major competitions, and I think that he has put in the work. He deserves this.
Are you ready for the final fight before Christmas? We have the number 2 seed team of Michael and Brian Latasha. They have never competed together in a major culinary tournament.
Alright. Hopefully I paid close enough attention to all my units to get what I needed here. Okay, so moving on to UK 10 here. So Germany bought another fighter, so we are going to have to keep an eye on our fleets and what we need to build up or add to and whatnot. He attacked a lot, Caucasus, Arch, France, Northwest, Baltic, Bello, so he retraded everything. The good news is we did get some pretty good hit back, so he lost 1 infantry, lost 2 infantry, 1, so 6 infantry lost that turn in his takes, so, and he killed, 2 artillery, 2 infantry, 3, 5, 6 infantry, and 2 artillery with all that air, so pretty good hit backs, all things considering. He did move Germany down here, presumably to protect these guys, I guess, because I made a goof. I forgot to move my AA in here. So to make it not profitable for Japan, we're gonna have to do some airstrikes on some Japan infantry, unfortunately. Not exactly ideal, obviously. I'm looking at that right now. So, and we'll see if we lose a bomber. So right now we're looking at 6. So if we had 5 infantry, 1 artillery, 9 fighters, 2 bombers, and a partridge and a pear tree. Let's see. If we took out the 1 for 1, it makes it kind of evenly and slightly in my favor. But I think I'm going to go bigger. I'm going to think bigger and badder. It's risky, but we're going to try and kill both of these guys in our attack. Nonetheless, we want to continue to trade as much as we can, so we're going to try and trade these guys. The other thing that we noticed is if we take this well, we might be able to stack this on US and Russia's turn. So we're going to see if we can take that with 3 infantry and a fighter and see if we might have the opportunity. And that's without using these transports, because I don't want to get stuck in C-Zone 5 with all his German and Japan air. So we don't want to get stuck with all of that nonsense again. But I think if I did some quick counting correctly, we can stack on in there without concerns. So We'll see. Obviously, he bailed out of West Russia, which means if we can hold Japan from hitting here, then we can dump some Russian troops in here to hold it against Germany attacking. And then when Germany restacks West Russia, we can always pull back in. But if I'm able to stack Baltic, he may need to pull back and not restack West Russia. So we'll see how he plays it. But we're going to buy 3 infantry and 2 fighters. We need the fighters in order to keep the C-zone stacked, because I do need to send one of these fighters this way, because all 4 of these fighters need to come this way, which means they cannot attack Baltic. Well, we'll still try it. Whatever. I gotta throw 1 bomber there just in case he gets a hit, because I need all the fighters to survive. But we're gonna try 2 bombers down there on a swipe. We'll do this battle first, and then we'll see what we need to keep this stacked from the rest of the Japan hit. I hadn't really thought about it. I was going to just... Do we just take that 2-1? I mean, he can still... he's got a lot of air to trade heavily, but we're going to hopefully take that and that. Maybe that and that. Oh, he's not going to trade up that way. Maybe we'll go there. I mean, we could just bring in... Not a great efficient trades, but I think we're going to do that. You know what? No, I don't want to put that extra egg in the basket. I don't want to put all three of my transports in one basket. So I think we're going to go for the 50-50 on the 2v1 there. And then if that doesn't work, maybe we hit with the bomber and the transport from there instead. A US guy. Nice, nice. All right, let's go infantry. First round, infantry strike. Boom, yeah, nice, nice, nice. All right, I gotta take this stepwise. If we get a clean hit, then we're good. 4, 4, 4. Nice. Another predicted number. How about that? I'm doing good at predicting these dice. Clean kill, clean kill. Breathe. Clean kill. 4 6s. 4 6s. Are you kidding me? 5 6s and 2 bombers down. Are you kidding me? Well, that ended up being a lot more costly than it was probably worth. But it should make Kaza not ideal. Good gracious. 5 out of 6 dice being 6s. There we go, nice. Nice. Whiff. Nice. So we'll have to see if we can do that Baltic. We'll see what Japan does first, of course. He's good there. I want to double check this real fast. So he's going to now have 4 infantry, 1 artillery, 9 fighters, 2 bombers. I got 7 infantry, 3 tanks, 4 fighters, and only 1 bomber now, unfortunately. And that's to our positive. It'd be essentially as negative as our negative bomber strike was. So we'll see if he takes that. There we go. Silly move for getting that stupid AA. That AA made me take that attack. I didn't really want to take those. Lost 2 bombers out of it. All because I forgot to move a stupid AA. But, again, maybe we stack Baltic out of all of this. All right, so Japan 10 his turn. He bought 10 infantry, another fighter, 2 artilleries. Looks like he's still shucking from Tokyo here. He did go ahead and land in Africa. The temptation is to take out 2 units with 2 fighters, bomber, and infantry, but this one's the one that's going to cause me more heartache because he's going to come down here where I can't reach because I'm going to be landing here. So I'd rather kill this guy, and even though he'll still get 2, I'll be able to take 1 back next turn at least. Possibly 2 if we have a transport jump down, although we're going to build 4 units for these 2 transports so that they can come back and collect in Canada to be ready to pivot to Europe if we decide to just pull out of Africa altogether and make the strike on Berlin, because we are going to stack Baltic states this turn. We got plenty of room, and so yeah, we're going to hit that guy. Now, of course, he does have these 30 units plus 10 he's building here, plus these 2, so you know he's going to bring 4. He could bring up to 42 more units back into there, where I'll be bringing in 11, 12, 16, 19, 19-ish units. So he'll almost guarantee be able to squeeze me out. But that means these guys are not. He's going to have to limit how many of these guys are going forward, because I'm planning on trying to wipe all these Germans out. So hopefully this is the beginning of the bottling of Germany, is what I'm getting at with all that. That being said, based on the play I'm going to make, assuming that we take out West Russia, which is an important part in a kind of a bigger battle, assuming we handle that okay, we're going to stack Kaza, which means he could stack West Russia because our Russians are going to be here and here in essence. He could stack there to make me draw back out, which is fine if he does. I plan on trying to do it without needing the UK in here at all, because I want the UK to be able to go to Baltic. So if he does, it's fine. After Japan's turn, we'll pull back out and retreat. And if he goes that way, then he's really letting me put a threat onto Berlin, obviously, if he does that as well. So we're building 14 ground, 2 for here, 8 for these guys, and then 4 for these guys to be able to bounce back up to 10 and pivot either back to Africa or to Europe. And I'm going to start rotating all my transports through 10, gives them, they can go north, they can go directly to France if we get a France stack option, or they can reinforce Africa. I think we're going to continue to leave these guys here to help continue to dead zone 15 to prevent this fleet from just launching into there. He is bringing his other battleship up this way, but he can't reach 15 yet, so I think we're just going to chill with our fleet here for this turn. These guys should be protected from them. He's only got 2 bombers that can come up here against these 3, so we're okay there. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Going to use our heavy air to try to take people out efficiently. Part of me wants to hit that infantry. Part of me says I should just hit that guy and clean him. Yeah, I think we're just going to leave that infantry alone. It's only a 1 IPC that he could take back. Let's just clean this up nicely. All those fighters can get back okay. Oh, yep. Don't want to forget about Africa down here. Clean that one up. There we go. Got him. Clean, clean, nice, extra nice. Can we get the triple extra nice? Oh, no, we cannot. I am going to do this. Oh, no, come on. Ah, die, die, die. Emotional support fighters came through again. Oh, well. What are you going to do? So we will have those 4 fighter bomber that can hit these 2 areas at least, but grr, grr, grr. These guys are going to sit to trade. If I move them all in, well, you know what? What's that look like? Do we have, if we have C-Zone 15 dead zone, then it's worth going ahead and moving them in, right? He actually only needs to send 2 fighters and 2 bombers down here, and then he'll be stacking Egypt safely, and that makes it a profitable wipe. So I think we're just going to hang out, leave our bomber there for support to hit him next turn. And maybe we get a hit back and it doesn't even matter. That would be extra nice. We do have C-Zone 15 dead zone, so it's not so much the Japan in there, but 1 infantry with 9 fighters and 2 bombers can hit there with all the fighters landing down here, which is fighters out of position, and that means he's not using his fighters, his air to trade here, 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 hopefully here as well, and here. So I don't think it would be a great hit for him, but he only needs 2 of them, so that would still leave him 7 fighters for hitting the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 territories. So, you know, that's not bad. I'm going to play conservative here on this turn, I think. Watching the bombing, so we're at -4, so we can build 4 for free, and then 2 more. Let's just stick with there. Let's see. I think I might want 1 more artillery in that mess. So he's got an AA, 5 infantry. I'm thinking I want 4 and 3 is my guess. Ooh, that's even just a 75%. I might even go 5 and 3. That gives me 89%. I don't want him blitzing through. I need to double check, make sure I've got enough left here and there to stack here and here real quick. So yeah, I still have plenty to be able to stack Kaza, as well as I think I might even be able to stack, was it Balagda? Who knows, maybe even... that might be pushing it, but maybe even stack Novo. I don't know. So I got to count up the. I'll count those up here in a minute, but we got to make sure this goes well. These 3 battles go well first. So let's go this route. See what we pull out here real quick. There we go. Nice. Ah, clean. Good. Good. There we go. Excellent. All right, here we go. The really important one. Ooh. Okay. Phew. All right, there we go. Now we're feeling a little better. Good gracious. I gotta think on this a little bit. See if it might be worth putting the AA in there. Even though I won't be dead zoning, he's going to want to be pulling back. Okay, so yeah, on reviewing, he can stack move a group of tanks and infantry here to wipe whatever lands there, and it'll be stacked so that Russia could not kill it back. I'll have these U.S. guys there. Maybe I could have been a little bit iffy on it, but I feel like it's just not worth it. So we're gonna keep them where we want them. I'm gonna double check how many I need. Yeah, no, I think we're just gonna. Debate. Perhaps I'll just see how many I need to stack here. Because that pressure of 9 units on Berlin is not going to be that much added pressure there, right? Whereas I could be ready to move them back for trading arch or coming back and getting ready just in case as Japan starts to come back up the other direction here. So let's pull up our G11 Baltic Strike. And we will have our 7 fighters there. We will go ahead and have our 2 AA in there. So I think we'll leave the AA in there regardless. Now it's just a matter of how much of the rest of this to put in there. We got, what, 23 infantry and 3 artilleries there now. Start there. Definitely need more than that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if we dump 5 infantry in there. We're feeling pretty good about that. So at this point, we're not really saving much. So let's just push it all in and make him think about it. All right, down here we need that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's throw an AA in there. 15. I believe that's what we need for the Kaza. This is why we got to have all these calculators, unfortunately. So we're putting an AA, 14 infantry, and artillery, 5 tanks, 1 fighter, 1 bomber, because we're hoping to fly those guys out. And that makes me feel comfortable. Now, I think what I want to do is see what I can do about stacking these guys up. From these 2 in the AA, and maybe we just put 1 in each of those. Well, I'll be hitting with 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So these 3 fighters can't hit there, but these 6 can. I don't think we could always airstrike them, right, with these guys. But we lost our bombers already. I don't know that I want to risk off the fighters at this point in the game. So infantry, artillery, fighters, 2 bombers. How many infantry does it take to make that be a costly battle for them? Oh, it's going to take quite a bit, to be honest. 7 infantry. I think we leave them as is And let's just put as much pressure down here on Persia and Kaza and make him think about what he's got to do for these zones.
And his peanut butter, so I'm making like the chef.
All right. There we go. Let's take a look at this war report. We're at 264 to 252. Got a little bit of a stretch from that Kaza attack where he attacked Kaza and we got some bonus on it. He's still high on that income, but Germany should finally start feeling a little bit of a crunch there. He's at 45. He's going to get 8, 10, 12, well, 16. He could get 17 back. Still puts him at 42 and 48.90. So income's still tight, but positionally, we're stacked next to Berlin and stacking against any stack against Moscow right now. Now, yes, he can stock West Russia, which will make me pull back, and then that'll allow him to get into Kaza, at least trading it probably. But for now, I like my position because he has to respect getting hit by Russia, and he's split. So hopefully that makes Japan have to kind of pull back a little bit too. All right, so let's get back to Germany's turn here first. So Germany bought 9 infantry, another fighter, and 2 artillery, filling in the 12. So he now has 12 planes sitting here. So this is going to get a bit rough, but well, we'll see what he does with these guys. I'm torn. I think he's got to stay here to keep using his transport and not come into here. He may, with Japan, come in here and hit this guy. And if I commit to, which I think I have to hit Northwest Europe and France with the UK, then I'm committing these guys to help cover up. 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, if we brought the cruiser down, bomber 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, these guys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they can't reach up there. It's just these 2 guys. So we could build next turn. So if we bring the cruiser down, then if we decide to stay up here, we can always build a fighter. If we decide to hit this way, we could still hit that way and bring these guys down, I think. So yeah, I think we're actually going to be able to use this cruiser, come down here, since these bombers can't reach. 1, just counting again, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can't land anywhere. So we just got these 2 bombers to worry about, which US either comes, just stacks up heavy stacks here. If we decide to hit C-Zone 15, if he was happening to go in there, or if he does not go into C-Zone 15, then these guys come here, these guys go up, we build a fighter with US, not a big deal. So I think we continue plugging away with the plan here. So let's look at the purchase. I'm looking at 4 infantry, 2 artillery to stock them up, and then we also have room for a fighter to add in. And then we'll save 5 because we are going to be losing our income slowly but surely, unfortunately. But hopefully we grab some extra income from these guys this turn. go. We'll bring that guy in too. I forgot I only had 5. I could grab an infantry from there, I suppose, but we should be alright. 3 and a cruiser versus 3 infantry. We should be pretty decent on that, I would think. Yeah, we should be good. And 2-2, 2-2, 1-2. Those are all good quality battles. I did mean to bring this US sub into range and this UK sub into range of each other, but so that he'd have to move his destroyer out to one of them and then leave his cruiser behind protecting there, or build another destroyer. So we'll see what Japan does next turn, but we're just going to hang tight. And if he does hang tight, then we'll bring the US guy in, we'll bring the UK guy in, and then make him make a decision there. Especially if this battleship moves in to 34, then they can't reach at all to reinforce 61. We will be able to stack the Baltics as long as we got US or Russian or infantry in here to block these 8 tanks and these 6 tanks from hitting us. Hit. Nice. Nice, nice. Alright, the cruiser hit. And we needed it to hit. How about that? I don't know what I think about Germany's move to West Russia. I mean, certainly it's going to make Russia pull back. And it's going to be threatening a 1-2 in the upcoming future. Thank you. But it lets me stay wedged between them. I had a mind of coming to Belarusia and then coming on up here and then pinching them. And then they got nowhere to go, except for this way. But I think we're just going to keep the pressure up on Moscow itself. I think that's the better play right now, since we can. Nice. Nice. Some good income for the UK. They need that income, and they'll need to save up on that income for continuing to build anyways. So, obviously, he's going to have Karelia dead zone, but to thin out his troops on the front line, I'm just going to dump everything in here. Even though this is a dead zone, I'm going to be able to trade it back with my units coming in here, plus these units sitting here. I'll be able to wipe anything back out. It's not like he's going to stack it behind me. At least I don't think. Actually, I might need to double check that before I move the US guys in there. We'll see. We'll double check with the US guys. But maybe we'll just leave the UK guys there and just leave the US back, because certainly the US plus 8 more coming in will have it dead zoned. But that's my idea. Is I want him to have to use these units to trade heavily, so that they have to get out of here sooner than later, and his tanks have to pull back. And so we're going to continue to trade as heavily up here as we can too. One there, because we built a guy. At some point, I might build that 4th transport. It just feels wasteful to build the 4th transport, but I'm not sure I'm going to continue to have the 24 income to fill it. But it could go back and pick up those guys and make those guys relevant at least. So nice solid UK turn there.
Long retirement. How can you, Jacob, move from fear to confidence in your plan?
Well, it's interesting. Whenever we meet with clients in the office and we go through the software and we do everything through age 100, every client usually will say, well, what am I going to do with money at age 100?
So I think Japan's going to win Africa slowly but surely, probably. But I'm okay with him sending units that way because then they're not coming up here. And we're already knocking on Berlin's door, and these 25 units, 27 units, they're not going to get back to Berlin, I don't believe. Because at some point we can pivot down here. If they try to come down here, we can pivot. I don't know. Hopefully they can't make it back. Alright, so this game continues to be rather interesting. So Japan is amassing ground, and so they are starting to build up. So they've got 21 units, and they're building 15 in the back line now. So this is... It seems strange with all that strong air that they did, but that does seem... I've been hearing... I haven't looked at it that closely, but I've been hearing that that's a more common strategy, is a whole lot of axis air, and so it certainly has created its difficulties for me. The good news is he did not bring a transport down this way, and there's no transport here, so there's no reinforcements going to Africa. Not only that, he doesn't have any fighters that can reach. All his air is way up here, so he can't come down and turn the corner with these guys. If I bring a little bit down here. So I'm going to be able to dead zone these 3 squares. If he wants to go out there, okay. Actually, I think it technically will be 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I don't think it'll be dead zone, but that doesn't really gain anything, I don't think. So I'm not too concerned about that. And we can hopefully press a little bit here in Africa, maintain Africa. I'm hoping if US's round goes well, we'll see. But if US's round goes well, Russia might be able to take a parting shot on these guys as we pull back into Moscow again, just to cut this train down of going into Africa. He did pull his guy back here, so what I was talking about, my sub play, now he's got his battleship back here as well, so not as strong to draw his destroyer out this time. He doesn't have to, he would not have to rebuild it, so to speak. Other than it would, we could maybe position so that he wouldn't be able to use his transport, but yeah, anyways. 36, 46, 48. Yeah, we're going to be strong here. So Karelia, I did a quick calculator on it because I did start worrying, okay, this is a lot, 25, 39, plus he didn't fly could fly his planes into Karelia. So if I moved all of these guys in as well, I think he'd crush him pretty well, and I wouldn't have enough to really dead zone Karelia. So unfortunately, I'm just going to leave the 3 out there to hang. He can crush the 3 UK infantry if he wants, but at least that means we'll trade them for them. And right now, I'm good with heavy trading with Germany, so to speak. So yeah, half of me thought about, well, I can move an AA back there too. Maybe I do. I haven't decided on that yet. It may be worth throwing the Russian AA in there, just to make it a trickier trade at least. Or he could force the push it all in and lead to this massive Karelia battle that we'd have. But he'd still have all this living, and I'd still have my Russian living, but he'd have his Japan right there. So I don't know. That may favor him. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to move forward. We're just going to move forward. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and buy 2 fighters for up here to help with that potential Corellia dead zone. Plus, it just makes me a little bit more comfortable here, so to speak. So we're going to still just build it and work down that route. Sorry. And then as far as ground, I need 6 because my 1 transport, I'm going to go ahead and hit this guy with the 1 transport. So I don't need all 12 of these guys coming back. I only need 10. So I got 2 bonus. That leaves me 8. That'll be hanging around for these 4 transports going out and coming back. So we're going to knock 1 transport out of sync, but we're going to hit this guy. We'll have this guy dead zone. He's got no reinforcements coming. So we'll be okay down there for a little bit. We're going to use this heavy allied air to our advantage, hopefully, against, or to help the Russians out, basically. And depending how this goes will determine what we do or don't do on Russia's turn, actually. I think that's all the attacks, though. We didn't have a great attack on this stack here. Could have had 1 tank and 7 air, but that's not a great listing there. Alright. So I think that is it. Alright. I want to do the Caucasus battle first, so because this will determine how I treat this. Oh shoot, it went through that way. This is why I shouldn't. I guess it doesn't matter. I was meaning for him to go through Moscow so that we could retreat the tanks back to Moscow after a good hit, not to go through that route. Bummer. Oh well. That's the game UI. Over the board, I'd say, you know, I actually drove through Moscow, but not an option here. Oh, well, that changes things. Oh, That just made that Karelia dead zone I was setting up not great. I was counting on, you know, maybe hit the tank back. I wasn't counting on him getting a 2-for-2 hit back, unfortunately. Erg. I hate to take the bomber on this. Ah, you know what? Because now I can't even retreat. This is why I want to be able to retreat my tank into Moscow. Hit and retreat if they lived. Now we're going to have to use 1 infantry there. Do I want to take the bomber? I'm in a lot of defensive stacks while also trying to be offensive at the same time. Can I still strike this with Russia with having to use 1 infantry over here? That's what I need to figure out. If I take the bomber for casualty, I can. But then Corellia becomes weaker. But Corellia's going to be weaker regardless, unfortunately. I hope 2 tanks survive here. I'm going to need everything to survive. Frabble knackle. Well, I guess we'll figure that out when we get to it. I mean, we'll be able to pull these guys back. Worst case scenario, I guess. If he stacks here, we'll pull back. But, alright. Well, I think we take the bomber. We need a really good Vologda. Come here. Come on, guys. Really good Vologda. Good. And whiff. Thank you. Alright, well that helps a little bit. Well, I was going to have to pull one of those guys back to land the bomber here to make him be available. Oh, wait, you know what? I almost forgot because I don't have the bomber. That's why I built that second dude. Second fighter up there. It does weaken my dead zone on this to a 50-50. These are still decent because of the 2 fighters sitting on the carrier here. But it does weaken our dead zone of 27 to a 50-50 if he decides to push into there. I think we're just going to leave him chilling. I want to see that battleship leave the zone, leave the area again, so that then we can move our subs into better play. So we'll just pretend that we're forgetting them. So we're building 7. We would have 31 infantry, 3 tanks coming back, 6 fighters. Yeah, we're good with that. But I'd like to really shut down the reinforcements going that way. Nothing good for him to do. Come on, come on. Come on, fighter. Good job, fighter. All right. Finish him, guys. 2 hits. Fighter game 2. Finish him. Not that way. Dang it. Alright. Well, odds did not go in our favor that time. Double check this Baltic real quick. Line AA, 35 infantry, 6 artillery, 5 fighters, 32 infantry, 4 artillery, no tanks he can reach, thankfully. 10 fighters, 2 bombers. Yeah, we got that. That's fine. Wonder. If we put one guy in there to block. You know what? I think we're going to even do that. Gives me 12, 30, 3 tanks, 6 fighters, AA. It gives him a 50-50 with Germany on Moscow if he decides to take it. I hope he does not. That blocks his German tanks from blitzing and killing my 2 guys here. Plus, again, makes Karelia a harder stack if he decides to stack move. Alright, so there we go. This is getting kind of interesting here. With the German split stack here. And Japan getting ready to get in here. We gotta get ready to get fighters pumping in. Which we do, and we'll be able to swing these guys back, presumably. At some point, hopefully. Hopefully I didn't set these guys out to get massacred. I don't think they're in trouble yet, but it is kind of an awkward position. Awkward position for these guys, awkward position for these guys. So this is looking better, at least. You know, presumably he's going to come back with this battleship, and then that's when I can move forward with my subs again, like I was talking about. Or at least the transport's going to come back. Maybe he retreats these guys back because of this setup. Oh, fighter before carrier. Okay, good. Good. All right. Okay, so Germany went in on Moscow, which was negative value 50-50-ish for him, but and the end result, he killed 33 of my units, lost 35 of his units. His units were a little bit more expensive, so it was an IPC, is a positive IPC value for me, plus 2 units. So it sounds like the results are, I'm not plugging it back in the calculator, but it sounds like it was pretty close to expected. So now this changes that where I was saying it was awkward stack here, awkward stack here. There's no longer an awkward stack here, but there's no stack here anymore in Moscow. So, and like we said, we've got 22 guys coming in here next turn. And he's going to kill this guy, obviously, with the artillery and air, which is going to make things awkward if he actually wins it. If I don't get a hit back, that's going to make things a little awkward because I don't really want him to have a building front that close. Anyways, maybe I shouldn't have taken this last time. Maybe I should have let it stay in Germany's hands. It's always... I wasn't expecting him to hit yet, so I thought I'd have another turn or two of getting that value before leaving it so that Japan doesn't get that factory right up front, but oh well. So here's what I'm looking at. This is good. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be very, very tight. So because I paused my guys here, US, they can go US 12, 13, 14, so they can get there on US 14 defend against J 15, and that's probably going to be a bigger stack coming. Then we'll have like 15 coming and whatnot. So, and then we'll have guys flowing either that way or that way at that point. So we should be able to defend J 15. J 14 and J 13 then is the question. J 13. If he pushes everything forward, and he's got 48 IPC, so he could build 4 bombers, then I need everything plus 2 UK fighters built this turn. So all of these 9 fighters, 11, 15, 17 fighters, plus I need 2 more fighters in Moscow to make me comfortable, which means I need to build fighters and move one of my carriers out of C-Zone 8 into, not 6 because it'd be killed, but 7, where fighters then next turn could be in Moscow. Which makes it a little, it's going to make my C-Zone 8 a little bit iffy-ish. Especially if I hope to cycle, so my plan is US 12, if he builds bombers, I need to cycle these fighters right on in. But regardless, I'd like to cycle 2 fighters in, these 2 fighters up, build a couple fighters, and get this fighter cycle going in for the next couple turns to just pump life into Moscow. But I've got this one fighter that can fly back up here. But I really, after I move, I need 3 fighters in these C zones, which means I'm going to have to build 3 fighters for UK, 2 to go up here, 1 to go down here. And then that'll give me security if only one of these fighters going. If I send both of them, it'll give them a 65% shot on the fleet, which again will hopefully only have 2 UK transports in it. So I think I'll be okay with that. So, but we're going to build fighter pumps out of UK and US to try to make it 2 turns until these guys can start reinforcing, and then also reinforcements coming through. Meanwhile, we're going to try and hold on to this Baltic stack for a little while. He did build 13 infantry, so he's going into turtle mode. So we want to trade here, 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 and hold our stack as long as we can, and then divide units coming through Karelia this way, or at some point just dump in on France, where he can't, even if he could wipe France, he can't completely wipe France because these guys would be knocking on the door. I don't think that's this turn, though. So as a result, I'm only building 3 infantry and 3 fighters because I needed those 3 fighters. So I'm going to send one of my transports up to the top with 2 guys, and those guys just will be who the 3rd transports again next turn, whether they're coming into Berlin or they're coming back down here, or that transport comes over. Oh, you know what? Oh, because I haven't moved these guys. I can't, the infantry can't make it over there. Wow, when I build the 3 infantry and have the one transport here, he can come over and hopefully pick these guys up on a UK turn, because I left them sitting there. I could have maybe sent one back this turn and grabbed them and lost a little less pace there, but whatever. Point being, we could only build 3 infantry this turn. Now we're going to smack the heck out of these with all these fighters, and we're going to land 9 fighters here, ready to come in to here on UK 13. So we're going to have 11 UK fighters ready to fly into Moscow on UK 13 is what it boils down to. All right. Make sure we kill these. Let's not have some stupid thing happen in France. Again, we're just going to chill with our subs because they can't really do anything. That's it. That's what we got. The cruiser hits when I don't really need the cruiser to hit, but we're not going to complain. We're going to step 2 over here because they can come in. I'm leaving 1 because I don't want to give him a free kill on my AA with Japan, so I'm going to leave 1 guy to make it so he can't just, he'd have to risk against an AA. And the AA could be useful moving him slowly but surely over as well, so. Good news is this 12 IPC for UK is nice supplement since we're losing the 4 or 5 over here. So this is keeping us a decent income with UK despite the contested Africa. So that's nice. Plus the fact that he never did get to these guys. So that's a nice little extra income that we are getting. What this does mean, if he does the math, is my threat down here is irrelevant because these guys got to come back if I want to protect these 2 transports. So he can kill this guy free. But at least there's no transport in here. To check. Okay, good. All right, so we'll get some bonus because, or well, actually these are probably pretty equal income, 44, 48, so We got a 30 30 attack power lead. Thankfully, Germany's income is finally starting to come down a little bit, so he's got 83 versus our 99. So slightly on our edge, on our favor, but this is going to be a hard nut to crack when he's got 17 fighters sitting around. So we'll see, you know, obviously US is going to move here in 12, and on US 13 we're going to have to decide here or here. You know, do we let Moscow fall and then just come as fast and hard and then stack France and then pressure France as hard as we can, or do we contest Moscow? All right, continues to get interesting. So they're not going to try for Japan 13 per se, because he bought one fighter and a bunch of ground. So instead of the 4 bombers, which I could have defended it anyways with the 4 bomber buy, so the smart play. I don't know about the fighter. I mean, he continues to grow air. It's forcing me to buy air, so I guess it's working in that sense. J14 is a huge question mark. He probably can take J14 if he builds 2 fighters and 3 bombers, which he can next turn, assuming we take Caucasus, which might be a big assumption. We'll see what he does. It would require an all-out buy commitment from him, which he may not be wanting to do that. So maybe that buys us time, but then that also means we could get the U.S. through Karelia there. Again, we won't have to make that decision until next U.S. turn, what we do with all these troops sitting in Karelia, whether we go this way or we go that way. But it's definitely going to get interesting, to say the least. So, all said and done, a lot's going to depend on what happens with our strike on West Russia, because we've got 2 bombers and 3 tanks sitting there, and we've got 2 tanks and 6 fighters that can hit it. I just feel I have to take that shot. I need to take it without losing any fighters, though. That's the key. That'll decide how everything else plays out. Because if we lose even 1 fighter, it's going to be really difficult. It also means to try and squeeze it out, I can't use this fighter on the destroyer, because I need the fighter to land up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't reach Moscow. Land here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can reach Moscow. And I need that reaching Moscow. Now, you see all this air, and that could be scary, but we're going to take Egypt, so the transport shouldn't be able to go through, and he just had the 2 bombers that can reach me, so we should be okay there. So I am planning, I need to double check my C-Zone 8 here. I am planning, though, go ahead and take the 1 destroyer on destroyer, and hopefully, you know, we can win that 1v1 destroyer v destroyer. Maybe I shouldn't take it. We're gonna check C-Zone 8 battle here real quick versus 10 fighters. So yeah, I'm fine with the 10 fighters, but I would need to kill the 2 bombers. If he takes tanks before bombers, then I've got a 69% chance of killing them all without losing a fighter. If I lose a fighter or a bomber lives, then it changes everything. Well, if a bomber lives, it really changes everything, because I got to keep a fighter. Well, if I lose a fighter, it changes everything. Or we could just let that destroyer be. I mean, I don't know. I don't like letting him be. Well, like I said, we need things to go well to have a shot at holding SJ14. But even if things go well, we may not really have a shot at holding J14. So I think we're just going to go with my initial plan. We're going to go for all the attacks. We're going to build 8 infantry. We're going to build 2 fighters. Again, 2 fighters up here is the max that we can get in. Well, that left me enough to buy 8 infantry. That gets all but one of these guys filled up. So we're just gonna we're gonna go with it. We're just gonna do this. And on 1, 2, 3, here we go. Say these fighters can't hit anything really good. Well, maybe we do want them to hit there, because we don't need them in here this turn. 9, 7. You know what? This is. I don't normally like trading with U.S. with Germany. I'd rather use UK or Russia, but having 2 fighters, which Russia would not have. Well, Russia would. I'd rather have Russia have other. I want Russia to be able to hit here. That's right. So yeah, I think we're gonna do that. I'm gonna need to recheck my numbers before I land my. Oh, I guess I need to do that before I make this attack. Actually, hold on. Yeah, I think we're gonna be okay. We'll have to land a couple UK fighters here, but we can still have enough landing back in here that to hold there. We are going to make sure we move our sub in so we can bring this sub in and make him consolidate. And or build a destroyer. Alright. Start with the big one. This is critical. We need to kill the bombers and not lose any fighters. 5 hits right off the bat. Bam! Kill the bombers. Dang it. I guess that mission was accomplished. He could do something stupid and crash these into West Russia, but... I think we'll be okay. We're going to need to move somebody... We do need to make sure we move somebody into Belarus to prevent them from blitzing and hitting with these guys. But I think the fighters living's the key part. Man, that sucked. I only got 2 hits. Dang it. But we got the 2 bombers, which was the big part. Oh, I hate to retreat that, but we're going to retreat that. Man, these hitbacks, come on. Give me something. Nice. Okay. And that gives me 8. I'll need to double check my math on all that here in a second. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's safe there. Oh wait, nope. I forgot we got to leave room for all of our infantry. Do we have enough infantry? 4. Okay, yeah, no, we're okay. This is not a sub bug. They can disengage. It's not a big deal. Oh, you know what? We can throw him down here. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can't hit anything. These guys, 1, 2, 3, they can't hit anything. So we don't have to protect that at all up there now. This turn. That gives us that extra hit point versus him trying to do the 10 fighter strike. Alright. I think I want to count up my fighters here. I want to recheck my Moscow versus J13. I think we may need to put all the fighters we can there just in case he takes a shot. Okay, so yes, even if he hits and takes out 2 infantry, likely these 2, or he goes in here and hits, you know, the infantry I build in here, and he takes out 2 infantry with his 3 tanks, I still just need 16 fighters in here. So we've got 11 coming from the UK, 12, 13. So I only need 3 of these here. So 3 of them there, 3 of them there. And I need to double check my Baltic number with moving 1 infantry over here. What does that mean? Okay, yeah, I forgot. I already got my 9. These 9 fighters aren't going to leave till after Germany's turn, so I don't have to worry about it too much. But what I do need... I like having enough in here that I can pull the Russians out altogether. Which I believe we will have without any of the U.S. guys going there. So we're going to move. Do I want 10? I think I'm going to leave one of them there to be on the safe side. All right, well, I got to leave 2. But the other 3 we can leave here for extra protection, I think. And we just need to make sure we remember to move the Russians over. Block those guys. Well, not just block them, but just maintain that, stack that, prevent income. So I think that'll make the turn. Yes, we don't need to move any more of those. There. They're going to have 8. They got 4 there. Move them there, move them there, there. Okay. Dope. That's why I need my fighters. Well, it would make sense for him to take a 10 strike too. That's why I needed the carrier still up there. Dang it. I got myself distracted. Too much going on. I'm distracted. All right, well, it'd be smart for him to kill them. Dang it. Dumb me. Dumb. Bad dice, dumb mistake, and that's just a good way to goof things completely up. Stink me. And a 5. All right, there we go. At least that went favorably. This will give us a chance to trade this way. Take this Ukraine next turn too. There we go. All right, this was a messed up turn. But, oh well, here we go. We're ending it.